Alright guys, I'm out here at my house in Alabama, and this is a rack that I built a couple weeks ago. Got all my discs kind of set up on it, and so I was like, man, I'll just go do a video and kind of go through all the discs that I have here today. And so yeah, I got a bunch, and they're all like organized from like putters to mids to fairways to distance drivers to all like the secret special stuff or like my expensive really collector disc. I got a bunch in here too. But yeah, so we're gonna take a look at these boys over here. And yeah, I got my bags kind of set up at the top right now. I'll kind of go through these guys first, but I've got like a Ledgestone grip bag. I got an old 5-time claw Paul Macbeth bag, pound bag from last year. I was carrying this one this year until I got my new one right here. So I'm gonna do the in the bag with what I'm carrying pretty soon with that one. But yeah, so these are the discs. I'm gonna start over there with putters, and we're gonna go through all of these. So these columns go all the way down to the bottom, and there's like 6 columns, and I think like drivers can fit like 44 in here, and then like the putters can fit like 39. And so we're like close to 700 discs in here right now. I still have like a bunch of my other discs that like I carry with me on the road at Gannon's house in Iowa right now. But yep, this is what we got here at the house, and so some pretty cool ones in here, and we're gonna go through them starting with the putters. But yeah, putters. I used to putt with these are right here. These are like the CT Lunas from a few years ago. Like these were like the workhorses for a while, and those are like kind of like the go-to. So like all these are CT Lunas. Like these are backups that I had, all misprint backups. We had like this run, Paul Macbeth run right here. I've got several of these. These are all brand new. Like never put it with those. Right here was another run that I put with for a while. This is a pretty good run. That feels really good in my hand. But I think, yeah, here we go. This was a Luna that came with this bag right there. And so yeah, I still got some new ones of these circle stamps that people used to putt with for a while. Got those in black as well. And then the circle stamp in the all white pair. And then toward the end, I've got 3 crystal or ice serves here, Wonder Bread stamps. So these are pretty sweet too. I love these. Oh, this one's pretty cool. So this kind of looks like a Tour Series Luna from this year, but on the back it says Test 3, and I did not write this Test 3 on here. This was given to me by Bob Julio earlier this year, and this is like one of the Test 3 Lunas. I don't know like what test run this means, but it was a test run given to me, and they just stamped this one on it. And so yeah. Alright, so that was all of these putters up there, which were mostly CT Lunas. Going down to this next row, still all putters, but these are just a bunch of like random, like that's a Steady BL. This is like, I don't even know what that is. Magnet maybe, Focus, a couple more Focuses, some random Ledgestone runs, Roaches, Challengers, Roach, Ringer. Okay, but now we're into some breakers. So we got some Trevor Hallbolt breakers here. We got some Atmos breakers, Atmos DGA breakers. Breakers. I don't really throw breakers, but I got a good bit of them. We got a Tour Series Luna. This is the Putt R. Crazy weird putter right here. It's like a dog disc. Then we got some of these yellow Steady BLs right here. I've got a handful of these misprint ones. I do not throw them. If anybody wants to buy them, let me know. Or if any of y'all see anything that you want to buy, just put in the comments. I'm open to anything. Yep, here we go. Big Z Lunas here, the yellow version. I've got a decent stack of some of these out here. These are the World's ones. We got Macbeth AB collab. Big Z Luna's there. Then we got some World's Kratoses. World's Kratos. We got Sparkle Test Flight Kratos. Then we got a couple of these CT Swirl Kratoses there. So yeah, there's that row, and that is done with the putter section. Down into the zones next. These are just a bunch of misprint Color Glow zones. I think that was like double stamped. But we just got a bunch of just misprint Color Glows. These were warped, but putting them in this rack, they've kind of like retaken shape again. So now they're flat and feel a little puddled, which is nice. People like those. These are a Brian Earhart Jawbreaker zone right here, I believe. But yeah, I've got a couple of those. Probably a little bit more straighter zones. We got some Play Disc Golf Peter Green, like Flex Swirl zones. Yeah, we got some pretty cool ones here. Shout out Peter Green. Yeah, we got some cool ones there. Some more. We got, yeah, some Champions Cup zones. These are sweet. I really like this one. Just like the peach with the white zone on it. Some more just Color Glow ones. Misprint. You know. Oh, this guy right here. This is the one I threw for a while. This is like my baby, like my favorite zone for like years. So good. I think, yeah, it's a 4-time Paul zone, not the claw, just the signature 4-time one. We got some Earhart ones, some more random zones. Okay, that's all the zones of these. I got some more I'll talk about down there, but yeah, now we got Zone OS's right here. You know, just some random Goose ones, Jawbreaker, Tour Series, Get Beefy ones. Yeah, Battle Pack, and then this one right here, Test Flight and Team Stamped black. I got lucky when I got this one, and then when I was at the warehouse a couple years ago, I got Team Stamped. So yeah, this one's super nice, pretty valuable. Don't know how much it goes for, but zones and zones OS's right there. Going down another section, we've got buzzes all the way up to like here. We got about 15, 20 buzzes. I used to have like, I feel like I used to have like 40 or 50 buzzes, but over the years I've just kind of given them away. But yeah, just got some misprint ones. I won't show all of them just because I got more specialty buzzes later. Later in the video once we get more towards the end. But yeah, anything cool. Signed Lens Twins ones, some black crystal ones, Chanimal. But yeah, now we got some Buzz OS's and overstable mids. Buzz OS right here, Team Stamped. I'm a big fan of all these Team Stamped ones. They're like my favorite. This one's American Flag Team Stamped Buzz OS. Here we got, you know, a black version of it. We got some Flat Eye ones. This one I used to throw for a while, this mini Yuli Stamped. You know, this was a really good run of Buzz OS's I liked. We got some more right there. Another different color. Same thing. Now we got some Maltas. We got a couple of these. I don't even know what run this is. I think it looks like a Ledgestone run. Ledgestone run of Maltas. Then we got a Swarm in here. Then we got a few Nebulas. This is a run from Ben Calloway that he still throws, and he thinks the best run of Nebulas. He throws them all the time, but they're super stiff, really swirly. They feel like they would be great. And then I got one drone that I got recently from Ledgestone. But yeah, there's some of the buzzes and mids. Now going down another row, we've got squalls all the way up until like here maybe, and then we got some aftershocks. So the squall I feel like is an underrated disc, but yeah, this run is nice and white. I like the white squalls. They go so far and they're so straight. I think they're a 6-speed, 6.4, -1.1 squalls. I got a bunch of them. I love throwing the squall. Oh, I actually got 2 riffs out here. 2 riffs. Yeah, some misprint squalls, some yellow squalls. More squalls. Here we go. This is a cool one. Pretty old Proline squall I threw for a little bit. Then Yeah, we got a couple more of these ice squalls. A lot of people are big fans of these, those squalls. It's like a 2021 Ledgestone run. They were great. And then, yeah, we got some Aftershocks. I don't throw these ones anymore, which I need to return these because someone gave them to me. And they're a super awesome run. I just can't remember who it was, but I need to get these back. But yeah, old Circle Stamp Aftershocks. He sent me 3 of them, or maybe more. This one I do throw. It comes in and out of my bag sometimes. But this is like the best plastic of discs I've ever felt. I love this one. It's 2009 Disc Golf World Championship. Kansas City Aftershock. Legendary disc right here. And then of my own, I've got another First Flight Circle Stamp Aftershock. Another one in purple. And another one blue and white. Pretty sweet. And then down here, old random putters. I'm not even going to take the time to go through. They're just been trashed and just old. So now coming up here, Overstable Mids, we got Quakes. I think these are all Quakes right here. And then these are Swarms. Just all Test Flight Swarms over here. Test Flight. Yeah, I got like 5 Test Flight Swarms. Noah Mindsmoke Quake. Stack of some new PL Quakes. PL Quakes in blue. Then we got some Midnight Flyer Quakes here. Pretty sweet. Old SP run I used to throw. Just a blank Proline Quake. Then we got some blank ice crystal, something like this, Quakes that are pretty sweet. I like the looks and feel of these pink ones. Feel so good to me. And so yeah, when I was at the DJ warehouse, I picked out a bunch of those just because they felt amazing. And I was like, dude, if I ever stop throwing my Quakes, which I probably won't, which are down there, I'll show you in a little bit. They're awesome. Next row, Overstable Fairways. We got Avalanches up to here, and the rest are Raptors. And so I'll start with the Raptors. Or we got one Hellfire. But yeah, Underground Captain's Raptor, some Adam Hammis Raptors, more Raptors. Okay, OG Raptor for me, you guys. You should throw this thing everywhere. But it's this run. It's a GMC run right here. I think it's one of the most underrated, best runs of Raptors ever made. I think these are Crystal, like Z Crystal 2020 edition. So all the Crystal runs that came out in around 2020, like 2019 to 2021, were the best runs of Crystal Raptors ever made. They're amazing. Yeah, another one of those guys right there. Same run. Pretty amazing. But obviously, I've got a run that I throw that I will never take out my bag. Then this one, we got some more of these Adam Hammis Raptors. They're just super overstable. Normal stock Raptors. Okay, Dr. Pepper Raptor. Y'all probably don't know this one at all, but Alden Harris drew this on this Raptor, which is the same run of the Fly Dye American flag that I throw. And there was one tournament where I threw in the water, and I needed it later that round, and so I had this guy. I thought he was going to fly the same as the other one, so I throw it, and it immediately turned and flipped over into the water. And so this one retired, and me and Alden make fun of it all the time. Like, where's the Dr. Pepper one? It's right there. More Raptors. Some Yuli Raptors. Double stamped Yuli Raptors. These are pretty sweet right there. More Raptors. And then, yeah, Avalanches. We got a Marweed Color Glow. And we got the new Spark Avalanches. They're probably the best Avalanches they've made. They're a little bit straighter, but they feel amazing. Yeah, we got some cool ones right there. Super overstable, like First Flight runs. Some more Marweed, and then, yeah, SP ones. And then we got a couple machetes in here. I think they stopped making machetes, but we got about 3 of them right there. But yeah, there we go. That is the overstable 7 speeds right there. Coming down, another one. We got all Passions and Cicadas. Passion, Paige Pierce actually gave me that one. Then we got some Cicadas. This run from Ledgestone. Looks like we got Test Flight Cicada in there. Yeah, these are a good run. Alright, now into the Passions. We got a couple misprint. A Couple misprint ones, misprint. Okay, here are the cool ones. Double stamp test flight, triple stamp test flight, double stamp test flight. First test flight passion that I ever got, and 3 right there. And then this super swirly black and pink passion test flight, or not test flight, but double stamp. So yeah, there's the passions and cicadas. Now all these right here are all Athenas. We got a Ledgestone run Athenas. We got some double stamped first runs, double stamped first runs. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is like the most overstable Athenas. If you're looking for the most overstable, go find this Ledgestone run right here. Looks like it's like a crystal sparkle Athena. They're flat and the most overstable. You can almost forehand these like a Raptor. Most overstable run right there. Got it in that color and some pink ones. But yeah, they're pretty sweet. We got a Micah Groth one. Shout out Micah Groth. 6 Claw used to throw. More double stamp first runs. Double stamp first runs. Double stamp first run. You're probably like, how do I get all these double stamp first runs? Well, when I go to like Ledgestone and Discraft Warehouse, I can go through like the misprints and kind of take sometimes like however many I want. And so first runs were so good, and I got them, and they're awesome. More Micah. Here we go. Test flight Athena right here. This one is beautiful. Really pretty. Threw it for a while. Yeah, double stamp first run, double stamp first run. I don't even know how many. Yeah, more double stamp first run Athenas. Like, this one's pretty sweet right here. I threw this one for a little bit a couple years ago. That one's awesome. But yeah, there are the Athenas. Let's see, where is that? Yep, right there. Got them separated just a little bit. But yeah, those are Athenas. Down here, I guess I'll start over here. We've got Vultures, you know, team stamped Vulture right there. We got a team stamped Vulture right there. Triple team stamped Vulture. Team Discraft is what I mean when I say team stamp. Then we got some misprint Vultures. Misprint Vultures. Quad team stamp Vulture right here, black. This one's pretty sweet. We got some, these were supposed to come out as bonsais, but they, you know, messed up the mold and they came out as vultures. So we just got some blank vultures out here, pretty much. And yeah, a couple more vultures. I used to love the vulture, that's why I kind of got a little bit of them. I really don't throw them anymore at all, but next up, I think, is Onyxes and Tsunamis. So, Marweed Tsunami. The Tsunami is almost similar to like an Onyx or a PD. They got a little bit different shape and feel on the bottom, but it's supposed to be similar flights. Yeah, this is actually a Predator right here. Back stamp Predator. That one's pretty sweet. And yep, Tsunamis. Orange blank Tsunami. That one feels great. Alright, now we're into the Onyxes. Onyx, anything cool? Let's see. I'm just showing you. Alright, here we go. Here, first cool Onyx. 1060 Onyx right here. One of the most sought after runs of Onyxes. Super stiff, stable, and beautiful swirls. Yep, Ledgestone run of Onyxes that I have. This one's beautiful right here. I picked up these because of the swirls and the feel. They feel amazing, but yeah, all the same run of, I'll show this one. This one's pretty. All the same run of Onyxes. Same run. Same run. Here we go. Proto Onyx right here. Paul Macbeth stamp. This one is really sweet looking. Big Z. Misprint. 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 So yeah, there are the Onyxes and Tsunamis right there. Pretty sweet. Taking it down another one. We've got DGA Pipeline. Let me come down here a little bit. We got DGA Pipeline here. We got like a first flight bonsai. Another first flight bonsai. A couple more bonsais, I think. Let's see. Okay, another first flight bonsai. First flight. So these are first flight bonsais and one pipeline right there. Now on the other side, we've got some blank swirly vortexes. These are kind of like roller discs, really swirly though. That's kind of why I kind of picked up these. Now these are a disc that I just started throwing. This is an Undertow, a really flippy DGA mold, but these are the glow version called the Glow-Tow. And I've been loving it for hyzer flip up and turn, or hyzer flip up turn in the woods. And so yeah, I got several of those. Now we got some first run Hades with Paul McBeth stamp on them. First run Hades, Paul McBeth stamp. Same thing right here, guys. Got several of these. These are pretty sweet. Another Undertow. Okay, now these are just roller discs. Roller Vortex, Sails. Here we go. We got Team Discraft stamp Crystal Heats right here. Super awesome. Pretty sweet disc right there. And then just some random Sails, more Sails right there. So yeah, we got some cool stuff right there. Let me put those over. And like again, random buzzes, random disc, old mids I used to throw, old fairways that I used to throw down there that aren't really anything. Alright, we're going to save this row for last. Right here, we've got all forces going down. These are just random Chris, double Chris, and Benjamin disc right there. Just random ones. Let's see, anything. We got this Ledgestone Run that I love. Just some stock forces, double stamp forces, Coriolis. We got a bunch of these Tour Series forces from a couple years ago. They came out super swirly. Big pop top force. Alright, so we got a double stamp force right there. Another team stamp force right here. That's pretty sweet. Really sick first run force right here. These are hard to find. These are a little bit straighter but feel amazing. Then we got this Nate Doss TI force. This one's pretty awesome. And this is a run that I throw. These are like my forehand bomber disc. If y'all see me throw forehand bombs, it's probably with this run of Ledgestone lightweight forces. These are super awesome. Micah Groth force, Proto Kong, you know, just random forces, Micah Groth, Tour Series, let's see. Yeah, nothing too, just, that one's pretty cool looking. Yeah, nothing too crazy, just more forces. Now down here, still more forces. You know, Tour Series force, Tour Series force. Let's see, anything cool? I mean, they look cool, but nothing special to these. Alright, this one actually is not that bad. This one was boiled. You can see how it's like that. But yeah, kinda, this disc is ruined. Just want to see what it does to disc. Can't throw these in tournaments. If you modify the disc and you throw it in a tournament, you'll probably get disqualified or kicked out and can't play. But yeah, this one was modified just to see what it does. But yeah, don't throw them if they're modified in a tournament. You'll probably get kicked out. But yeah, more forces, Proto Kongs. Let's see, you know, misprint forces. These are super cool. Really old 2008 Players Cup forces right here. Pretty sweet. I got a couple of those. Got a green one, yellow one, and a blue one. Another force, Jomez force. They gave me this when I was on Jomez. Hades. Okay, now done with the forces finally. It took a row and another row, half a row. Now we're on to the Venoms. We got these cool Team Discraft stamped Venoms right here. These are probably the best Venoms I own. Pretty amazing, feel amazing. Test Flight Venom that I used to throw. Test Flight, Test Flight, Test Flight, super overstable one. Test Flight that I used to throw. Some AB color glue ones. Some first run Venoms. First run, let's see, all first run, nope, Z-Light. Then all first run Venoms. This one's pretty sweet looking. But yeah, all up for sale. Maybe not the team stamp. Everything's got a price, so keep that in mind if y'all like anything or see runs y'all like. All right, down here, another Force actually. This was my baby for a long time, but it's been through too much. You know, it's got, you know, cracks and stuff in it, big dents. Doesn't really fly like a Force anymore. Then we got 3 First Flight Hurricanes down here. These are like flippy rollers or forehand stand-up disc right there. Over here, we've got some Hurricanes and Hypercanes, circle stamp Hurricanes. Let's see, more Hurricanes and Marweed Tour Series Hurricanes there. Alright, some Hypercanes intertwined in there. Some are new Proline stock Hurricanes. Really cool circle stamp Hurricane. And yep, more Hurricanes, and some Hypercanes right there. So yeah, we got some cool Hurricanes. We got one Atmos one there. Missed that one. Pretty sweet. Alright, now down here we got some nukes. I don't really throw nukes at all, but this is the same one that AB and all the Discraft guys, if you see them throw a green nuke super far, it's this run. They're super domey, really stable. But yeah, I got this one team stamped in Wonder Bread. And just some random nukes down there I do not throw. We got two Torrents. I don't throw Torrents, they're too big. Down at the bottom row are just random discs that aren't Discraft or DGA. If you notice, guys, it's all Discraft and DGA. It's all I've ever thrown. So this is the only row of non-Discraft and DGA that I have. I'm not going to go through them. I don't think they're that cool, honestly. Maybe a couple of them are, like, let's see, like, yeah, maybe like this Proto MD5 from European Open. But other stuff, you know, just random Justice, European Open stamp, like, nothing really, honestly, worth going through. But alright, so now this section, I'm saving that one for last again, but this section, these are all my runs of disc or stuff that I'm currently throwing. These are UV zones with my stamp on them right here, so I got a good stack of those. We got some orange confetti with my logo stamp on them right there. Same thing in black. I love these, they look so good. Now we got some Buzz SS's. These are like milky white with my stamp on them. Got them in pink as well. Then we got some Crystal Buzzes with my stamp on them. Then we got some Z Flex Cicadas with my stamp in orange and also in blue. Down here we got my Tour Series from last year, the Hurricane. Just some ones that are really cool colors that I kept for myself. Then we got my run of Forces from Ledgestone from like a year or two ago. Sullivan Tipton in the mane of that tiger. Pretty sweet. Then we got my first ever run of Sully disc ever right here. These were pretty awesome. Yeah, that one's pretty sweet looking. We only got one of this year's Quake. Of my Tour Series just because I sold all the other ones I had, but I had to keep at least one of them. And now the best run of Quakes ever made right here. My Ledgestone run from last year. This is what I throw. Super stable and amazing swirls to them. This one's got like a cotton candy vibe going. You know, I got some really cool milky ones. Black. This one's pretty sweet. You know, I got the best Quakes right there. Now over here, we got another one of those ST ones. This is a Team Ledgestone Fortnite Edition one. We all got like a little player on there from a couple years ago. First ever zones I made. Some Sully the Monster stamped zones. We got those in ESP Buzzes. That one's pretty awesome, Wonder Bread. Then we got those in a pair of purple zones. Super awesome. And my favorite one, this ESP Buzz team stamp with the same. This one's awesome. That's why it's bagged. Love that one. But yeah, those are all my runs of discs I've kept over the years. Now down here are zones that I throw. So these are pretty cool. But then these right here are my backups of this Adam Hammes UV zones that I throw. This is the run of zones that I throw in everywhere. If you see me throwing with this forehand zone, it's this run. So Ledgestone run, UV, Adam Hammes run. Yeah, I'll show you, like, that's what I have in the bag right here. This one was signed by Adam Hammes when I dunked him in a water tank. Yeah, I bagged 2 of them. That's the zone I throw. And so I got some backups, Wonder Bread one. Then all of these are sonars and a couple surfs. I put with the sonar, so like these are all my backups. Like these are all first flights that I have. That's what I put with. Then these, I can't really tell the story of these, and how I got them. But these are the original test sonars that I got from someone who helped design them. But yeah, these are sweet. I ended up grabbing 2 from that guy. But yeah, I can't elaborate. But yeah, first ever test sonars right there. Then got an extra one of these Flat Eye Raptors. This is the run I throw right there. So in the bag is this guy. This is not the ace guy. This is not the ace guy. This is the backup. This is the ace boy. This is my most valuable disc in my disc golf collection to me. A lot of sentimental value. You know, first ever league card, ace right here, this disc, best Raptor ever made in my opinion. These were supposed to be some Z Raptors, but when they made them, they came out crystal, and they didn't know what to do with them, so they fly-dyed all those Raptors that were supposed to be Z. You know, it says Z, but they are crystal Raptors. Didn't know what to do with them, so they put fly-dye on them, and I have some American flag ones, and you know, that's the one in the bag, another extra one. And then at Gannon's house, I think I have 2 more of these American flag fly-dye Raptors. Then these are like a little bit straighter Color Glow Raptors that I throw for a little bit more turning shots. But yeah, this was my run from a couple years ago. Another Team Discraft stamp Sully Buzz, some Z Sully Buzzes, Z Sully Buzzes, 2010 ESP Buzz right here that I threw for a long time. Then we got a 4-claw Team Discraft stamped Buzz right there, pretty sweet. Down here are just some stuff I take with me on tour from my house, just a pair of extra sonars. We got an Ice Surf that I throw, you know, Team Discraft stamped, you know, pink Force. These are super stiff, really stable. A lot of guys on tour are throwing these. This was the guy that I threw for a while. It was Team Discraft stamped. Also, I got a picture with Magnus Carlsen, the greatest chess player of all time, last year at chess.com, and he held this disc in his hand in a picture. And so, guys, this was held by Magnus Carlsen himself. Greatest chess player of all time. Don't know anything about me. I was the vice president of the chess club at my college. Fun fact. Yep, we got some Hurricanes here. So, this run of Hurricanes, this is in the clip of the video, but it was blurred. But this run, they only made 50 of these Hurricanes, and you can't buy these Hurricanes anywhere. They're super domey, you know, they best Hurricanes they've ever made, but they just haven't made them for everyone else. Some of the players got them, or really not even the players got them. Me and Cole got them, and yeah, they're pretty awesome. Ice Sonar that I throw, some confetti ones, American Flag, Ice Surf, you know, UV Zone, Black Zone, and this Glow Z Zone that I used to throw. Yeah, there's some of those ones that I take on tour with me. But yeah, I still gotta find a place. I think I'm gonna hang this guy somewhere up, like over my bed or on my wall. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do and put that. Probably gonna frame that. I'm probably gonna frame that one somewhere. Alright, now here's more of the expensive. Some of these are probably, or a couple of them probably go over a lot of money if the right buyer. Especially the last one that I'm gonna show. Right here we got the first ever ESP Lunas they ever made right here. This one's super swirly. They call it the Petamudi. I might be saying that right. But this is Paul McBeth's like 4-time European Open champion. Sorry, 5-time European Open champion Lunas they made. These dropped in 2019, I think. I think these are a 2019 run. So yeah, pretty awesome. We got a misstamped, claw. I don't know what run that is, but it's collector one. 6-time glow. So the glows in the 6-time only released at USDGC in person. You couldn't buy the glow ones online. You could buy the Z, but not the glow. So yeah, that's the glow one. And then we got 5-time Crystal Luna blue back stamp that I used to throw. I actually aced with this at Inverness. But yeah, I used to throw that one. Right here, we got a Petamudi, another one. Super awesome colorway right there. I'm trying to throw them on my bed. And let's take another stack. We got a Proto Athena, beautiful colors right there. We've got a first run Force, never been thrown, super rare. We got another identical 1060 Onyx, bagged up, super amazing, never been thrown. We got one of Paul's 3-time USGC champion Crystal Hades right here. Super awesome stamp. That's one of my favorite stamps of his. And then, oh, this one's coming out of the bag just a little bit. But anyways, we got another 6-time. I just love this. It was super awesome. 6-time Paul McBeth Lunas. Then we'll grab this. We got Paul's 2020 US DGBT points champion Crystal Luna right there. Now we got a coin set, St. Jude. We got the Zeus. We got the Luna coin set in there. We got the Hades coin set. In here we got the Malta and the Onyx right there. So we got the entire collector St. Jude set from, I don't even know what year that was. That might have been 21, I think that was from. Then we got another Wonder Bread Glow 6-time that only released at USDGC. And then, so yeah, that's the normal one that you could have bought, like just the normal crystal ones. Pretty awesome. Then we just got some 20-year stuff right here. Nothing too crazy, honestly, but they'll probably be cool. Like this is a Wonder Bread one. We just got some simple 20-year. I don't have any 10 years, but so yeah, some 20 years OG Buzzsaws that came out. Now here we go. We got a 4-claw Buzz right here, misprint. Oh, pretty sweet. Another 4-claw. This one's never been thrown. That one's beautiful. We got another 4-claw right there. We got another 4-claw right there. Hold on. I'm gonna save this one for last. We got another 4-claw zone. And then, hold on. Make sure you don't say that one yet. And then we've got a 5-time Crystal Luna gold back stamp, never been thrown. This one's so pretty. We got this run of Luna signed by Paul back when, I used to watch Paul. I got this before I really started playing. And then this one is one of my all-time favorites. 4-time world champion Force, black gold stamp, never been thrown. So yeah, and now for the last one in my collection, probably the one that's worth well over 500 from the right buyer. Black, matte black zone right here. Gold stamp, blue claws. This one is probably worth the most from the right buyer. It is pristine. It is so clean. Really awesome disc right there. That's that's the boy right there. So yeah, we got some 4-claws in there. Pretty sweet. But yeah, guys, that is my disc golf collection. Pretty sweet. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I got a lot more in Iowa. of just some of my backups. Probably nothing too special, but yeah. So thanks for sticking around, seeing the collection at my house. Yeah, built this rack too. I'll tell you a little bit about the rack real quick, but yeah, the rack, it's an inch and a quarter PVC pipe, and about 200 feet worth of that, and all the fittings I bought online, and actually the dimensions that I got for these are from a guy's YouTube channel called KWS Disc Golf. I used to watch his like unboxing videos of discs like way back in the day. But yeah, he built this exact rack, and I took the dimensions that he had in his YouTube channel, and so that's where I got this rack from, and I cut it and everything. So yeah, pretty awesome. But yeah, that's all I got. Also, shout out Brock Hardy for giving me this Nebraska wrestling shirt. Yeah, here we go. That is it. So hope you enjoyed, guys.